What's up, my wizards? Dev from the MTG back again. I got another budget deck tech for you today. I know you love these. So do I. This one, Daniel Cruz. You asked us, could you do a red-white heroic deck? Apparently you're sick of all the red-white tokens decks. So yeah, we can totally do that, it turns out. And like I said, feeling pretty good. We got a couple of things that enable turn 3 kills in this deck. Actually, like 3 or 4 different ways to do that. So kind of excited to bring it to you. Here it is. Let's start with the creatures. We're playing 9 1-drop creatures here and 12 creatures overall. We are super speed oriented. Here's what we're doing with our 1-drops. We've got 4 Favored Hoplite. Definitely got to see that guy. 2 Laguna Band Trailblazer and 3 Monastery Swiftspear over here. Yeah, obviously we're going to see the Hoplite. He's in everything heroic. Basically went to blue-white heroic. See the best way we can modify that to red-white. And we got to have Favored Hoplite. He's ridiculous. Same thing with Trailblazer. Both these cards enable turn 3 kills. And same thing with the Swiftspear. These are key to the deck. Got to play all of them. Moving into the 2-drops, we only have 3 of those. Let's go ahead and tell you about the 2 Secret of the Way in the deck. Yeah, this also has to be here. Since it came into the format, it's been a pretty staple card for obvious reasons. Play 2 Secret of the Way. I don't think you'll be disappointed. I don't think you have been thus far. We've all played this card. Keep doing it. And one more in the creature department. We got 1 Arena Athlete. Yeah, I've seen some heroic decks that include red just to play Arena Athlete, usually just the 1 copy too. Obviously this is sort of a heel cutter-ish type card, Frenzied Goblin, whatever you want. Just doesn't let creatures block. We've got something in the spells for that too, but it's really cool to have Arena Athlete out to sort of bust up stalemates. An important creature, yes, but it's still just like the Silver Bullet. Now we can move on to the spells. This is the bulk of the deck. There's 28 spells in this deck, and I'm going to give them to you sort of categorically here. First of all, protection spells. We're obviously running 4 God's Willing, and we've got 1 Ajani's Presence. Yeah, pretty standard, I want to say, for heroic. We always want to run God's Willing, one of the best cards in the format for exactly this deck. And Ajani's Presence helps us survive mass removal, or at least the one guy we've been building all game. Super important too. Let's talk pump spells, because that's pretty vital to a heroic deck. We're playing 3 copies of Defiant Strike, because we like to draw cards. We're playing 4 Titan Strength, that's our sort of giant growth, and we get to Scry, also very important. And 4 Hammer Hand here. 4 Hammer Hand, some of the best cards in the deck, honestly. Hammer Hand's ridiculous, helps you get through blockers very easily, and only the 1 mana. Like, Hammer Hand is crazy. I've played it in mono red aggro like this whole season. Great card. And finally, 3 copies of Artful Maneuver. Artful Maneuver also does a lot to enable turn 3 kills, and in a heroic deck or a prowess deck, this card is just ridiculous. People haven't given Maneuver enough credit. There's a lot of ridiculous-ish that you can do with Artful Maneuver, and that's why we're playing it. You'll see once you start shuffling them up and laying them down. Got a couple of cards that can burn things here. We got 2 Ordeal of Perforos and 3 Wild Slash. If you wanted to, you could switch those copy numbers there. But I like more Wild Slash. I like just being able to burn stuff out unconditionally. Ordeal, though, is good, obviously, because it targets one of our creatures and ends up burning them out. And a lot of times, with something like Favored Hoplite that you've already got counters on, you can go ahead and swing in with an Ordeal that you've just played and go ahead and pop it. So that's also fine, and you get an extra counter on top of all of that for your trouble. So Ordeal and Wild Slash, both fantastic cards. You could switch the copies if you wanted to, but I like it this way. I like just being able to deal that last 2 damage unconditionally with Wild Slash, which happens kind of a lot. And finally, 4 copies of Temur Battle Rage. This is the thing that enables the turn 3 kills. Pretty much every single turn 3 kill more or less relies on Battle Rage. Yeah, at first this was just 3, but I realized how integral to the deck this was. So 4 Battle Rage all day. You're gonna thank me. This card, honestly, seriously, this card's ridiculous. 20 damage, turn 3, a lot of the time, depending on what you're trying to do here, and love it to death. Battle Rage. Dumbest name ever for a card, but Temur Battle Rage. Good. We're only playing 20 lands in this thing, which is about right. We're not playing anything that costs more than 2 mana, and only a few spells that cost 2 at that. A lot of our spells cost 1 mana. So I do recommend that you buy the Battlefield Forges a lot, but the deck can run off nothing but mountains and plains if you want to do that, but highly recommend that you do A, play Battlefield Forge, and that you B, do not play tap lands. The first 3 turns is where we live, and we really can't afford to have any lands coming into play tapped any of those turns. So recommend Battlefield Forge or just 20 basic lands, one way or the other. Let me go ahead and post our board. This is pretty standard, I want to say. More protection in the board, more burn in the board. We've got stuff that takes care of bigger creatures in the board and stuff to help us race aggro. So, and also, you know, erase is in there too. So I think that we can cover our options pretty well. I can also see a case too for Valorous Stance in the board and a couple of other things. I started to put in Banishing Light, but let me know if you have any suggestions either for the main or for the board, because I considered a lot of stuff for both. I want to know how you feel about that. Now, before I post power rankings and get on out of here, let's go ahead and give you a couple of situations in which we can play, we can beat them on turn 3. Let's say turn 1 we play a Hoplite, we say go. By the way, I'm assuming that we're on the play for all of this. Very important for the deck that it's on the play. The deck is murderous on the play, but on the draw, not so much. So, yeah, let's go ahead and say this. Let's say you play a favorite Hoplite turn 1. Turn 2, you play Artful Maneuver on it. You swing 4 in. Next turn, you can rebound the Artful Maneuver. Then you play a Hammerhand, taking care of any blockers that they've played. And then you play Teamer Battle Rage. This allows you to swing for 16. It's 20 damage in all. You win on turn 3. Let's say that turn 1, you play Laguna Band Trailblazer. Turn 2, you play Artful Maneuver. Again, that, you swing 3 damage in. Next turn, you rebound the Artful Maneuver. You play a Titan Strength and a Teamer Battle Rage. You're now swinging for 18. You just won the game. One more. I'll give you one more. There's actually even more than this. But play turn 1 Swift Spear, and you swing just the 1 damage in because it has the haste. Turn 2, you Titan Strength it, you Defiant Strike, you're swinging 7 damage right there. Turn 3, you Titan Strength again, which makes perfect sense. You draw a card on the Titan Strength, or the Defiant Strike, and you scry on the first Titan Strength. So it's possible you'll get another one. And then you Battle Rage that. You're swinging for 12. That's 20 damage in all by turn 3. You've just won. And there's even more ways to do that. Math is hard, but you'll have to do it to play this deck, it turns out. There's like 5 or 6 different ways that you can do this and really throw people off guard. The deck just blows people out of the water sometimes. So, that being said, here's the power rankings. That was my cat. Hey, Igby. He's coming this way. There he is. He's a cute buddy. Anyway, these are the power rankings right here. Obviously, the deck doesn't play a whole lot of powerful cards, but it has a ridiculous amount of synergy, and speed is its forte. Definitely one of the fastest decks we've ever built on this channel. But you'll see the resiliency number, one of the lowest numbers we've ever posted here. Really not resilient. And if it gets past turn 4 or 5, you're honestly in a fair amount of trouble. So really want to win as fast as we can. You see the rest. Game 1, we've got a pretty high chance. After boards, going to be slightly tougher. We're not entirely versatile, and we're just barely consistent, to be honest. But when it comes together, which it does more than you feel like it should. The deck really feels unfair. It's one of the fastest decks in the format by far. And yeah, I suggest you play it. Goldfish a couple of games, play with your buddies, take it up to F&M. This is a very fun deck to play, as heroic decks have tended to be the last couple of years. So yeah, stamp of approval, I say, when you're able to beat the control player on turn 3, and that look on their face is just grot. So definitely try it out, man. I think this is one of my favorite decks I've built in a while. You can see my enthusiasm. I'm Dev from Strictly Better MTG. Remember, if you like this content, that makes sense, share, subscribe, comment, all of it does us so much good, and we love hearing what you have to say about stuff too, Wizards. So I'm working on a couple of things, but as always, let me know what you'd like to see. And Magic Origins spoilers already starting up here. Stay tuned for that. Subscribe for more. I'll see you later. Dev from SPMTG.